To understand what is positive thinking, I would like to share a short story with you all. It's a well-known common story, but yet it carries such a strong message that it is worth revisiting. The story goes like this. Once there was a wealthy father who took his son to a trip to a village to make him realize or understand how poor people can be. They went on a trip. They spent few days and nights on a farm of a very poor family in a village. On the way return, the father asked the son, "Son, how did you like the trip?" The son replied, "It was great, Dad." The father said, "What did you love? Did you see how poor people can be? And what did you learn from the trip?" Upon this, the son said, "Dad, I saw that we have one dog, but they have four. We have one big pool, but they have a creek that has no end. We buy our food, but they grow their own." This way, the son went on sharing few more observations of a trip that left the father speechless. So, the story talks about the perception towards we see the world, or perception towards the see the world around us. Two different people saw the same situation in two different ways. So, positive outlook is nothing but being able to look at good things around us. So now I'm going to share a PPT with you all. Give me a minute. So yes, as the story said, positive thinking is seeing the best. It's about the practice of focusing good in a given situation. Now I want all of you to look at the screen and understand who these people are. Yes, they are para-Olympians. Long ago, the Paralympics has gained popularity in the recent times, but long ago, nobody would have ever thought that this could even possible or something like this can exist. But these athletes made it possible by their hard work, dedication, and positive attitude. This is because thoughts affects feelings and feeling affects action. Their thought process of positive attitude created the positive feelings, and thus their actions made it possible to achieve the toughest goals. So with positive thoughts, attitude, hard work, and dedication, it is possible to achieve even the toughest goals. So positive thinking is being hopeful, being optimistic. In the next slide, I have a small activity for you all. If you have a paper and pen next to you, keep it ready. If you don't have, don't worry, you don't have to run and get the paper pen. You can also do the activity without the paper pen. So it's simple. I'm going to share the next slide. So you just have to look at the slide and write 2 lines what you see. If you don't have a paper pen, look at the slide, think about what you see on the paper. Yeah, are you all ready? Okay, here it goes. Just look at the page and write what you see the first. Don't worry about the right and wrong. Just write what comes to your mind by looking at the page. Just 2 lines, 1 line, few words, doesn't matter. Just write what you see on the page. I hope you're done. So you can stop the activity if you have not finished. No worries, it's okay. So if I'm not wrong, most of you must have written about the black dot on the page, or you must have thought about the black dot on the page. Very few or no one maybe observed the white part of the page. This is because our mind is naturally inclined towards the negative thoughts, the negative feelings. The same happens in our real lives too. We have so much to learn and observe from the white part of our life, but we always focus on the black spots. These black spots are like negative thoughts. So the science says the human being or the people are naturally think more about negative things than the positive things. Does that mean it happens even more in children? Because the negative thoughts are driven by fear, shame, and doubt. Does that mean all negative thoughts are bad? No, not at all. Both negative and positive thoughts are valuable or has equal value in our lives. For instance, uh, sadness helps us to process through difficult times. Without failure, there is no success. Always being happy alienates us from our other emotions, which is not healthy. So, no need to pressurize your children to stop having negative emotions. In fact, teach them to accept them and process them in a better way. According to positive psychology researcher Barbara Fredrickson, positive thinking is important because it broadens our sense of possibilities and opens our mind. It also makes children more resilient. So now I'm going to share with you all some of the practices that will help all of us to start thinking positive. So the first practice is creative positive environment. If you look back or if you can reflect an event where you as an adult are very happy, in a good mood and your feelings are good, what are the thoughts at that time? What thoughts do you get when you're happy? Yes, you automatically get good thoughts when you're happy. You automatically get good thoughts or positive thoughts when you're feeling good. You automatically are able to see good around you when you're in a good mood or you're feeling good. So, as adults, we have to create situations or events around our children which will make them feel happy, or we have to handle them in a such a way that creates good vibes or good feelings in them. How do we do that? How do we create a positive environment for children? So there are small steps that will take us towards creating positive environment. See, under this subtopic, I will be sharing you few steps that will help you to create positive environment around your child. And the first is the most simple and the easy one. That is, yes, smile. A simple smile. When children come to school, when they are entering class, welcome them with a smile. Look at them, smile at them, give them that undivided attention, and if possible, have a friendly chat with them. This will create a positive note and a sense of belonging. This step can be adopted by the parents also. So parents also do the same thing when they come to receive children after school hours or when they receive children at home. Smile, welcome them, give them that undivided attention and have a friendly chat. As I said, this will create a strong bond between the adult and the child. A simple smile can have a huge impact on little ones, even on the grown up ones. Here, I would like to share a small experience of mine. My daughter, she is in a high school. It so happened that in one of the tests, she got less marks in her favorite subject. I was surprised, but I thought, okay, it happens sometimes. And I kept quiet. But this did not stop there, it continued. In another two tests, also, she got less marks only in that subject, which is actually her favorite subject. It worried me more because I know the teacher of this subject is the best teacher in the school. So it made me worried and puzzled. Why is it happening when it is her favorite subject? And also when the teacher is the best teacher, there is no way that why she is getting less marks. This made me have a discussion with my daughter. I asked her, "Dear, what happened? What is it bothering you? Why are you getting less marks in your favorite subject?" Upon that, she said, "Mom, I am not able to focus in the class." And I said, "Oh, why? Why is it so? Why are you not able to focus in the class?" She said, "Maybe ma'am doesn't like me. Maybe she hates me." I said, "Why? Why do you think so? What made you feel that ma'am doesn't like you or hates you?" She said, "She never looks at me. She never smiles at me." So, do you understand the impact of a smile? Yes. So, teachers, wear a smile. Parents, wear a smile and welcome your child. This will make children feel valuable and the positive seed is sowed. The next step to create a positive environment is using more of the word yes over no. The word no spreads negativity. Teachers and parents, if they use the word no more often, it makes children feel that they may never get what they want. They become rebellious, they become secretive. So replace the word no with yes by telling them what to do rather than telling them what not to do. For example, if you don't want your child to run in the pathway or in the outdoor, you can simply say use walking feet instead of saying do not run. If you see a child scribbling on the wall, instead of going and shouting no scribbling on the wall, you can always say, how about scribbling on a page or a slate? And then provide them with the materials and sit with them for scribbling for some time. This way, when you are replacing no with yes, you are creating the happiness in them. You can also use a conditional yes in place of no. What is conditional yes? A good example for conditional yes is when a child has a homework to do and test preparations to do but wants to watch TV. Instead of saying no watching TV, you can always say, of course you can watch. First, complete your homework, then you can watch your favorite program and then continue with your test preparations. This way, you're creating an atmosphere for the child of creativity, yes, and the child will listen to you, finish the program, and complete his homework. When the no is replaced with yes, when the no is replaced with conditional yes, the child becomes more responsible and happy, and a positive seed is sowed. The next small step is, do you think it's making promises? If you're thinking so, no, it is not making promises. It is about keeping promises. Yeah, rather, I would say, make the promises that you can keep. We can take the same example of homework and watching TV. When you promised your child that you will allow the child to watch TV after homework, do not break the promise. Keep the promise and allow the child to watch TV. After that, I'm sure child will listen to you and complete his studies after that. Another good example is I often observed parents when they come to drop children, especially at the beginning of the year near the school, and if the child is refusing to go inside, the parent assures the child by saying, don't worry, go inside. I am waiting here only. I will be waiting here only. Whereas the parent does not do that. They send the child inside. Once the child goes inside, they go back home thinking that I will come back right on time and the child will not even come to know. But what happens during the day, during the school hours, during the transition time, if the child happens to see that the parent who promised to be waiting there is not to be seen? What happens? What thoughts might come to the child's mind? And upon that, if the parent comes late on that day, a huge damage would have happened to the child's thought. So instead of saying this, instead of making the promises that you cannot make, you can always assure the child if the child is refusing to go inside the school, meet the teacher and say, go inside, your teacher is there to take care of you. I will come back on time to pick you up. And then we can have lots of fun together. And make that extra efforts to come on time on that day. This will go a long way. This might take some time, but this will go a long way. And for some reason you get stuck in the traffic or some work, don't forget to inform the school. Then teachers, please inform or pass on this message to the child by saying your aunt, uncle, or driver or caretaker, who was supposed to come to pick you up, is stuck today with some work just by few minutes. They will be coming late just by few minutes. And don't worry, I am there with you till then. This way, parents and teachers are helping the child to trust, and thus the positive seed is sowed. The next step is the magic pause. Yes, the pause, giving a pause can work wonders with children. Often when adults ask questions to the children, they expect immediate answers. Please understand, some of the children take longer time to understand. And the adults, they not only expect immediate answers, and if the child does not answer, they assume that they do not have answer. And either they move on to the next question or they move on to the next child. This demotivates the child and he does not want to answer even though the child knows the answer. So here, use the power of magic pause. Ask a question to the child and give a pause for the child to process the information, collect the information, recollect and answer. And if you're in a hurry, you can always move to the next child saying, hey, think about it, I will come back to you. And you never know, when you come back, the child may have the right answer. Even if the child does not have the right answer, teacher can always help the child by giving some clues or taking buddy's help. This way, the child is hopeful that with some help, I can answer the question. My teachers and my friends are there to help me. Thus, the positive seed is sowed. Next, if you see the page, what comes to your mind? The moment you look at this page, your attention goes directly on the corrections or on the errors. Though if you observe closely, there are more right answers than the wrong answers. But the way the errors are highlighted or the way the page is corrected, our attention goes on the errors and the feeling is negative. Feedbacks affects or has a huge impact on receivers, especially on the young ones. Yes, correction is nothing but a form of feedback. When a big cross or a mistake is highlighted, it can be disturbing for children. It is discouraging them. They feel bad and the negative feeling, they create a negative feeling towards learning. Does that mean we should not correct them? Does that mean the errors should not be corrected or the child should not be corrected? No, not at all. The errors or the mistakes should be corrected by us so that the child knows what is the right answer. But there is a way. There is a better way to do it. Look at this page. It has a more positive vibes. Even in this page, the error is corrected, but the way it is corrected makes a lot of difference. You can always use a dot or a double line under the error and write the right answer next to it. You can even help the child to write the answer next to it. Or if it is time consuming to help each and every child to write the right answer in a class of 20 or more than 20, you can always write the right answers on the board and self correct the answers. So, self correction procedure can be used. The children can look at the right answers on the board and correct their own errors. This way, the children become responsible for their learning and the positive seed is sowed. This is about the written feedback. When it comes to oral feedback, you can always please use the growth mindset language. Growth mindset language is nothing but replacing negative words with positive phrases. We can take an example of solving a problem. When you see a child has solved the problem correctly, instead of saying you are smart, you can always say great use of strategies to solve the problem. If the answer is wrong, instead of saying you're wrong, you can always say mistakes help learn. You have not been able to solve the problem yet, but you will. So acknowledge their skills and efforts instead of results. This way, they are motivated and the positive seed is sowed. Now, I want all of you to close your eyes. A simple activity, close your eyes. Think of a loved one, any one person that you love the most, and send a positive note. Now you can open your eyes. The simple activity that you just did is nothing but kindness meditation. Involve your children or help your children to practice kindness meditation. Kindness meditation is nothing but sending positive notes to your loved ones. You can help them to close their eyes and imagine their loved ones. They can choose their friends, family members, teachers, neighbors, grandparents, anyone, and they can say, may you feel happy, may you feel healthy, or something similar. With regular practice, they feel goodness about themselves and others. A feeling of being kind to others is generated, and thus the positive seed is sowed. The next practice is using positive affirmations. Positive affirmations is nothing but saying good phrases to yourself. Positive affirmations is one of the greatest way or the effective way to train our brain to think positively. It is scientifically proven that brain can be rewired or trained to think more positive. By saying repeatedly the same affirmations or good affirmations repeatedly, it becomes easy for you to think positive even in a difficult situation. Because sometimes it gets difficult for you when you're upset or when your situation is really bad. It's not easy to think positive. But with regular practice of positive affirmations, it is possible to think positive even in a difficult situation. Most of us do repetitive physical exercises to improve our physical health. Positive affirmations work the same way. Yeah, repetitive phrases and positive thinking help us to rewire our brain and think positive. It is like exercise to our brain. Some of the positive affirmations are I am smart, I can do it, I am strong. Help your child to say one or two positive affirmations every day at the same time. You can also choose and create your own affirmations, but make sure the affirmations are achievable, realistic, and are possible. For example, if you feel that you are doing great in your job and you deserve the salary hike, here you cannot have an affirmation saying, I'm working hard and I want hike in my salary. After all, affirmations are not magic spells. So instead, that your affirmation in this scenario can be, I am working hard and I am confident to go and ask about the raise in my salary. Yes, this is more practical. Only when you go and ask about it, you may be able to get a hike. Correct? So, one more example for a child whose parents are getting separated in this situation would be, a child can say, both my parents love me, though they don't stay together or though they stay separately. Few more positive affirmations are, I am kind, I am amazing, I am loud, I am nice, I am smart, I am brave, and so on. Positive affirmations can be practiced in a fun way too. You can create a positive affirmation path. Just laminate few positive affirmations and create a hopscotch. They can hop on them and say the positive affirmation like, I am accepting, I am independent, I am loved, and so on. You can also stick the positive affirmations on the wall, and the child can do wall push-ups and say the positive affirmations. And if you do not want to print and do this, the child can simply do jumping jacks and say the positive affirmation, or simply run in place and say the positive affirmation. This way, you are creating a positive habit for your child. Next practice is gratitude game. It's a simple game that you can play. Parents or teachers can play with your child. Sit with your child, choose a relaxed time, and start the game by sharing 3 things that happened good to you in a day. It can be as simple as, John smiled at me. He smiled at me as I smiled at him. Or it can be or a situation where I was carrying a glass of juice to serve to the guest, but I tripped and fell down. The juice was all over the floor, but thank God the juice did not spill on the guest. And the bonus is there was extra juice in the fridge. So initially, it might be difficult for the child to share, recollect, and share the positive thoughts, but slowly you will see the children will start looking good in a given situation. You might be surprised that one day your child will come and say, today I bumped into Sona during playtime, but hey, you know what? None of us got hurt. So the children start looking at positive in a given situation. This way, you are empowering them to see good in a given situation, and thus the positive seed is sowed. Teachers can also play this game with their children during the circle time. Teacher can start by sharing one positive or one good incident that happened to her. Then children can take turns and share the positive thoughts. The next is helping others. Helping others is definitely beneficial to others, but it is also helpful for children in enhancing their positive thoughts, attitudes, and feelings. If you think your children are too small and cannot help independently others, they can always assist you when you are helping others. They can always help their siblings in putting away their toys. They can help their friends in homework. The more they help, the more they feel positive. The last but not the least is model it yourself. Children learn the best when they children learn the best by observing adults. So practice positive thinking, uh, create positive environment full of positivity, praise, encouragement. This could be encouraging a positive or a favorite hobby that they like. Yeah, take more positive towards life. Share positive thoughts, laugh with them, share positive moments with them. What good or bad diet does to our body, positive or negative feelings does to our mind. So feed positive thoughts to your mind and your young minds. So I have shared only some of the practices that could help you and your children to start thinking positively or develop positive thinking. There can be many more and are many more, but I would like to end my presentation here by saying every day may not be good, but there is something good in every day.
Very true. And thank you so much. I think you have covered a lot of things and, uh, you know, all considering all the aspects that you have shared, I think we have, definitely we can go ahead and develop many other little things which can sow that seed of positivity or positive thinking in our children or, children in school or at home. Thanks a lot. And that was a great help and great presentation. Uh, and participants, if you have anything to add or anything to share, anything, you can unmute yourself and speak.
I can see Miss Kumari raising her hand. You're on mute.
The session was very good, Ms. Samyukta. It was very informative. Thank you.
Thank you. Please feel any experience that you have come across that has taught you how important the positive thinking is or the positive attitude is. There is nothing right and wrong. Please share anything that you have come across or your experiences.
Yes, Abdul, please, you can unmute yourself.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, the presenter, for a very wonderful and insightful presentation. It is so full of knowledge, and everything you've said resonates with me and my classroom. So I want to chip in an experience that I've had. Can you hear me?
Yes, Abdul, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I want to chip in an experience that I had in my classroom. So I am a teacher and Nigerian fellow serving in states, Nigeria. So I take primary 2 kids, primary 2, basic 2, yeah. So the kids are between the age of 8 to 10. Yeah, 8 to 10. So I have this particular kid. He is repeating basic 2 for the second time. So, he's so alone. He sits alone in the class. He does not want to be included because, of course, those his classmates are not his they're not supposed to be his classmates, but he was there because of his academic performance, so he had to repeat the class. So I realized that he usually excludes himself from activities and is not happy in the class. So one day I was taking the mathematics. So I wrote a sum on the board and I asked him to come out and answer that question. So he was able to do that. And immediately he did that, I asked everybody to stand up and give him a round of applause. And he was so happy. he was so happy. And since then, I have seen changes in how he solved mathematics in the class. Although he's still battling with English language, but there has been a change. I have seen him doing well, like he's doing well. So I believe it is the motivation that he got from me that day, asking everybody to stand up, the appreciation, you feel respected and you feel big, for everybody in the classroom to stand up and appreciate what he has done. So I want to say appreciation goes a very long way in improving the child's motivation to learn. So thank you so much. That's what I want to share.
Yes, rightly said. Appreciation actually goes a long way. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you, Abdul. Anyone else would like to share? Okay, anyone else would like to share your experience? Okay, I think, even I had almost similar kind of experience, but I have had this student. She was very, I think it's completely an extrovert child, and she used to be very active in classroom, all that for about 6 months. And all of a sudden, I think I have, I started observing that she has gone completely silent and not talking to anyone. Even she was completely like, detached herself from everything. I think once I called her and privately to the staff room, and I spoke to her, and I asked her if she is going through anything and all, as soft as possible, and she just kept on denying all the possibilities that I was offering. That I know, are you finding difficulty in understanding some subjects or any issues at home? Every possibilities I asked, and she did not speak anything. And this went on, but I just, I gave her some space for 2 3 weeks, and again I spoke to her. So I kept on trying from my end, and then I just stopped asking her, and just I started sharing, my school experiences and what happened with me, and a few things what stopped me during my school days by performing good, all those things. Eventually she opened up, and she shared issues that she was going through at home, and it was very personal. And later I had to call her mom and explain her everything, and she took her to the counselor, and she had been through few sittings of counseling, all that. Then eventually she got back to the regular thing. I think it is very essential as teachers or as parents, we notice, and we try to not giving up is very important, and we have to keep trying. And I think questioning may not work every time, as you were saying, that when you are, as a teacher, if you start sharing the good things happened in your life, so child by default, they start finding something good in everything. I think it is very essential that we start interacting with them, and it is most of the time teachers or elders, we think at our level, and it is important to get, you get yourself to the child's, probably if child is at 11-year-old, or if child is 10-year-old, you have to reach that particular place and try to understand. We just trying to getting into their shoes and understanding, because probably our logics, our theories behind many things may not work for them. So it is, I always felt, always when you are at that particular age group, you have to get into that particular, we bring yourself down to 7-year-old or 8-year-old, and be with them accordingly. I think they will feel more comfortable when you are like that. Um, so when I started teaching, I got to hear from many seniors that you should be very strict in the classroom. You should not smile, you should not, they'll sit on your head if you just give them all that, so much freedom in the classroom. But I felt eventually that children may listen to me if I'm too much strict, but I think they won't respect me. If I want to earn the respect, then I have to understand them and make them follow my words out of respect and out of love, not out of fear. So I think that works not only in school level, even at the universities level. I even today, I remember my teachers who were good to me, not those teachers who were, rude to us or strict to us. We remember those teachers for bad reasons, and we remember those other teachers who were good to us for good reasons. I think that is very important. And those teachers who we remember today for the good reasons have left such a great impact. And I think one of the reasons I got into teaching is my teachers. So I think many of us, teachers, can bring in a lot of changes in children's life. And where every time when suicide happens in school, I always feel that little more probably awareness among teachers or among parents would have saved the child's life. Many times teachers try, children don't open up. So many times parents try, children don't open up. I think if there is a coordination or collaboration between both, and proper awareness between both on child's behavior and what is happening in his or her life, and what is their, what are the changes, all that, then I think we will be able to avoid many such mishappenings, I guess. That is why sowing this seed of positive thinking from the childhood or from very early age is really important. And many children in government schools, or probably now in any school, come from completely different kind of backgrounds. It is not only about financial issues at home, as you were rightly mentioning that many families are going through divorce, and that is affecting children, because as divorce cases are rising, that is directly impacting on children's mental health. So many things need to be taken care. I think if we focus on the topics that you brought in today, we will be definitely able to avoid many issues in children's future, or probably in their life or in their world. Yeah, so we have a message from Akhil Kumar. Positive attitude matters 100% in good or bad situations. Yes. Yes, I think, because many of us are able to handle bad situations um, strongly, positively, because of that positive attitude only, I guess. Now, just in the very beginning of the session, I was talking to Ms. Samyukta. My laptop fell down, got broke. I think it's completely gone now, cannot even be repaired. And I just, for a moment, I got panic, and I had to figure out what is the other alternative. And there is a phone. If you don't go ahead with a positive attitude, and if you don't think that, what best I can do right now, alternatively, but just you think that, oh, it's not working and I have to cancel the session now, we have to cancel it. So I think that matters a lot. You have to take every situation with a positive attitude. Yeah,
Yes.
Ms. Amita, you have anything to share? I think we have 10 minutes more.
Yeah. Anybody else would like to share anything?
I think there is a message from Elisheva Mem Gunjal. Thank you, Ms. Samyukta. Very informative session. You always have the same positive attitude, which I'm inspired and implement from you. I think this is one of your known connections. Thank you for the wonderful session. Okay, this is one more message we have from Sikati Simon. Thanks for the wonderful session. Indeed, teachers ought to be parents and always smile with the children to get their attention. Yeah. I think,
So
that's
yeah, I think in our daily life, what happens is in a daily routine or in a rush, we forget about being positive. We forget about, it is possible in a given situation to come up with a solution. Like just now, how you shared when your laptop fell down. Without the positive attitude, it is not possible. So, time and when I think we need to keep reminding ourselves and keep using the positive affirmations or some of the practices will always help us to remember, yes, there is a solution for every problem, and we can deal the difficult situations also in a better way.
true. Abdul, you have anything to add? You have raised your hand. You can unmute.
Okay, thank you, Pooja, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have a similar experience like yours. When I first got to my classroom, I believed that for you to teach kids, you must also act like a kid. And I believe kids learn very well when you make their learning to be learning centered, and also you make it to be like you use the playway method. So my colleague then was telling me that, Mr. Zach, if you keep playing with these kids, I'm afraid that they will not respect you and they are going to disrespect you in many ways. And I was like, thank you so much, sir. But I believe that these kids are kids and you can't stop kids from playing. If you think you can stop kids from playing, I think that is like it's a fallacy. It's not possible. So I had to just keep on with my pace while playing with them. I ensured that our purpose, is not lost at the process of playing. We play very well. The school knows my class is like one of the most playful classes in the school. In as much as we play, we also work. We work, and I'm proud that my kids are surprising everyone. Yeah. So thank you.
Yes, thank you for sharing your experience again, Abdul. Okay, I think Samyukta is available on LinkedIn, but I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to pull in your LinkedIn profile link. I was not able to. I was going back. Okay. So I think you're not much active on LinkedIn, or you just joined. But I have all list of participants. I will share Samyukta's LinkedIn profile link with you, along with the YouTube link of the session, so that you can share with your friends and other teachers so that they can get benefited of all the positive thoughts and practices that Samyukta have shared. And I think, Samyukta, if you don't mind, can you please drop your email ID? So if anyone wants to get in touch with you, say they can write you directly.
Yeah, sure.
And thank you so much for everyone for joining in and staying with us and for sharing all your experiences with children. And I hope you will further share this session with other teachers and other parents. I think this is beneficial for everyone who is dealing with children from primary to university, or probably at home. So please share with everyone. And every weekend we'll come back with one of the important topics to discuss. So I'll see you all on next Sunday with one more topic. Probably we are talking on SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.